your neighbor.
You're listening to the #1 internet radio station
on the planet. WBND. WBND Radio.
Home of the Brothers in Demand radio show.
This is gospel music 24/7.
The opinions expressed in this show do not reflect the views.
I just saw him like he ain't paying me no bit of attention. Facebook family, what's going on? It is Ty and Cody on the radio, on your Facebook Live. We are making the video public for you all to share with your family, share with your friends. Go ahead and share. Sharing is caring. What's going on, Curtis?
What up, everybody?
Sorry, I can't even my Cody. I can't eat no candy, but I can't even my mouth.
Me a piece too.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and
good morning.
Good morning, exactly. It is the Ty and Cody On Purpose show on Yo Radio. Yes, we are back live in the studio. It's been a minute, but you got to admit though, we've had some good times. What's going on, Facebook family?
Hey, Keisha.
What's going on, Joyce, Keisha? What's going on, E?
What up, everybody?
E. We haven't seen you in a good minute, Eric. What's going on, man? What's going on? How's everybody doing? We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Preston, I see you're in the building. Preston's one of the from one of the couples we had on last week. I know y'all have enjoyed the Ty and Cody On Purpose couples game night show. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually hilarious to me. And actually doing that, we got to do that one again.
We must.
We got to definitely do that again. So again, as I mentioned last week, for any couples that are interested in doing the Ty and Cody On Purpose couples game night, hit us up at coach@aplmcoaching.com. coach@aplmcoaching.com, because we want to do that. We want to do that one again. What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Tiffany? What's going on, Gina and LaShonda and Tracy and everybody? I'm giving shout outs out to everybody on Facebook.
Hello, everybody. We've missed everybody.
Exactly. I see everybody tuning in. Don't forget, sharing is caring, y'all. All y'all sharing, all y'all joining in on for the show. Don't forget, share this with your family, share this with your friends. The Ty and Cody On Purpose show is live on WBNDradio.com. Can't forget about our A1s from Day Ones, our Tune In family, as well as our WBND Radio family for those who are tuned in and actually listening, yet but not watching. Don't forget, share the video for our friends on Facebook.
Thank you for the hearts.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the heart. Share the video with your family. Share the video with your friends. Y'all know how we like to do. We like to get it in. We like to have a bunch of fun. And we do everything unfiltered.
It's after hours.
It is after hours. So don't be surprised if something slip out of my mouth that I'm not supposed to say.
Trees.
And that's just how it goes. What's going on, Miss Tasha, Miss Hersey? We got everybody in the building. We appreciate y'all for coming through. We got a great topic for you all. Is to cheat or not to cheat? That is the question.
Ultimate question.
Oh, scary.
Spicy. Exactly. We had a great show last week with the couples game night. That was completely interesting to me. Doing the first one, of course, there were some glitches because it was like, "Hey, but what about this rule?" I was like, "Well, just roll with it." So but it was.
We make rules as we go along.
We make rules as we go along. You know how we do. When you get couples together, they get to go and playing cards, especially when you play cards like Uno. And people got their own set of house rules for Uno games and whatnot. You got the. It is what it is. But we had fun. Again, we're gonna wind up doing that again. If you're interested in doing couples game night with us, give us a holler at coach@aplmcoaching.com. That's coach@aplmcoaching.com. We are live in the studio. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. As I mentioned, we have a great show for y'all. The title of the show is To Cheat or Not to Cheat. That is thine question. Yes. So what's going on, Crystal? We missed you. I saw you tuned in last week as well for the couples game night show. Then we had spring break before that. I'm pretty sure everybody is all spring break out.
Oh yeah, turned up
or something like that.
Some people may want to go back to spring break. As crazy as this weather being.
I was about to say, with the weather being the way it is, some people are trying to figure out where the heck spring break is in the first place.
Switched up.
So y'all went so much entertainment. You and your family had the opportunity to travel for spring break. Where y'all went to?
We went to the beach, weather? Where everybody half naked.
But was it decent weather though there?
Actually, it was windy and chilly, which was perfect beach weather, by the way. I don't know why, but yes. The last day it was like freezing, but the 2 days before that, the wind was blowing, so the heat kind of had a little breeze with it, so you could still enjoy it, but not really get burnt up.
Gotcha.
So the first time we got burnt all the way up.
Yeah, you don't want to get burnt all the way up. You want to go ahead and put on that SPS 50 or whatever that is, that suntan lotion.
I ain't
to
need
make
that,
sure
but,
you don't need it. Well, you got the bald head. You know, I had the bald head one time too.
I wore a hat.
Yeah, but I say your hat,
and a
your hair
sweatshirt
started to peel.
And gloves.
God, dog.
No, listen, I did something different this year. I wore a hat, gloves, jogging pants, and socks. Because the wind was blowing.
Okay.
And I had my tent or my little umbrella thing. I had me a blanket, and I was, wrapped up.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable while everybody else was looking uncomfortable.
But I said, you said people was half naked out there, and if they was out there and with no clothes on and everything else while the wind was whipping.
Listen, they just said they wanted to go to the beach, and they was Instagramming and stuff and freezing. I was like, look at y'all.
Doing it for the gram. Eric asked a quick question that I said we can answer this right quick. So Eric wants to know, how long should you be in a relationship before you say I love you?
That's good.
That's an interesting question. And honestly, Eric,
I think it depends.
I was about to say, I don't think there's a solid answer. I really don't think there's a solid answer, because there are some
6
people
weeks.
Yeah, there is a solid answer.
Go ahead.
When you truly believe it and you truly mean it, that's when you say it.
Yeah.
Love at first sight then, Cody. Because when I saw stats, I knew she was the
See,
one.
and that's what I was getting ready to say, because there are people who believe in love at first sight. They go, I love that woman, or I love that man at the first sight. And you go, well, is that infatuation, or is
But
that
watch
lust,
this though.
or is that
To that point,
Okay.
I love that person. That means that already off the gate, I'm willing to do any and everything just by the sight of you.
From first sight.
From first sight, I will wash your drawers, your socks, brush your hair and everything.
I don't know.
And soak your toothbrush.
I'm going to have to, I don't know about all that. On the first sight, though, dog? On the first sight.
Not on the first I had to worry about that last one.
Like, on the first sight, dog, I'm going to wash your tooth. Yeah, I'm going to soak your toothbrush. I don't know.
Or dentures. I mean, I'm looking beyond the
Or
future.
dentures. Tiffany says, when you know, you know. And I think Tiffany has experience in that. I'm not going to call Tiffany out. Tiffany's my cousin. But Tiffany got experience in that one. But so when you know, you know. Shrugs, as she say.
Hold up. She ain't the one that be giving out the specialty. Need to soak her toothbrush.
You know what?
Oh, that's the other one. Okay.
Yeah, because I ain't put her out there like that. You trying to get me in trouble. So in that case, E, when you know, you know. Tasha said the same thing. When you know, you know. No, dog, I don't know about drinking people's bath water. Cody's my wife, and I don't know if I'd even drink my own wife's bath water. Yeah,
That's unsanitary.
That's just nasty. That's just nasty. But good question, E. Good question. Let's get it in. Y'all know how we do. About this time, we got our marriage joke of the week.
We do?
Yes, we do. Yes, I did.
Oh, I missed it.
It is titled Bottle of Merlot.
I ain't got my glasses on.
Yeah. I need you to get contacts, glasses or something, just entertainment. But it is called Bottle of Merlot. Again, people, I don't make up the jokes. I just find the jokes online and I just find them funny. This time, however, I didn't find this joke. Guess who found it, Mr. Entertainment?
Cody.
How did you guess?
I don't know.
By the title?
She needs a bottle, not a glass.
A bottle.
bottle.
Of Merlot.
Listen.
Here we go. A man asked the waiter to take a bottle of Merlot to an unusually attractive woman sitting alone at the table in a cozy little restaurant. So the waiter took the Merlot to the woman and said, "This is from the gentleman who is seated over there," and indicated the sender with a nod of his head. She stared at the wine coolly for a few seconds, not looking at the man, then decided to send a reply to him by note. The waiter, who was lingering nearby for a response, took the note from her and conveyed it to the gentleman. The note read, "For me to accept this bottle, you need to have a Mercedes in your garage, $1 million in the bank, and 7 inches in your pants." Again, we're after hours, people. After reading the note, the man decided to compose a note of his own in return. He folded the note and handed it to the waiter and instructed him to deliver it to the lady. It read, "Just to let you know, things aren't always as they appear to be. I have a Ferrari Maranello a BMW Z8, a Mercedes CL 600, and a Porsche Turbo in my several garages. I have beautiful homes in Aspen and Miami and a 10,000-acre ranch in Louisiana. There is over $20 million in my bank account and portfolio, but not even for a woman as beautiful as you would I cut 3 inches. Just send the wine back. I'm going to have to say, Cody, that one was funny. He said, if all you are requiring is 7, I can't help you because I got 10. And I'm not cutting 3 inches for you.
No, sir.
Yeah. He was not cutting 3 inches. Exactly.
Oh, my.
And I'm glad Mr. Entertainment got it on the first go-round.
Oh, my.
Because, I guess that spring break then got his mojo back.
Yes, sir.
Spring break got his mojo back. You know what? I'm not fooling with y'all. For those who are on Facebook, don't forget to share the video with your family, share the video with your friends. The Ty and Cody on Purpose show is live back in the studio. 803-692-6370. Y'all know we like to hear from you all. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Give us a call. We want to hear your thoughts and your opinions and so forth as well. Again, tonight's topic is to cheat or not to cheat. That is thine question. Our national days. I feel like I haven't done national days, national months, national nothing in like forever.
Because you haven't.
I haven't. Yeah, like 3 weeks.
Redeem yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to have to redeem myself. So here we go. This month is National Month of Hope. I think it's a good one. We always like to be of some encouragement. So it's National Month of Hope. Have hope. You never know what things may turn your way or not, and so forth. It is also National Couple Appreciation Month.
I like
National
that one.
Couple Appreciation Month. I think you should appreciate or find different ways to appreciate one another as a couple all month long. And then carry that in over to the next month and the next month and the next month and just continue to do it each and every day. But it is actually, like a journey. A National Couple Appreciation Month. Thanks to Cody, it is also National Humor Month. She gave the joke of the week today that you all actually found funny. So maybe we're going to switch the joke of the week over to Cody.
I didn't say all that.
No. I tried. I really tried.
She's been on fire lately, though, when she does.
Yeah. She threw a couple of them in there here and there.
Few and far between.
She threw a couple of them in there. She did lose us that one time with her top 10 of
Cody's top 10.
It was the top 10 that we were looking at her like, so where does this get good? Where does it was the gifts. That's what it was. It was the gifts. We was like, neither one of us would want
and it didn't fall into any of us. I'm like, wait a minute.
We wouldn't want any of these gifts. Like, did you make this list? It is also National Soft Pretzel Month. Y'all ever go to the mall and go like the Annie Ann's?
Actually, I did, and OMG, I did not realize they were that good till I bought one.
Them soft pretzels?
Yes.
Oh.
I thought they was expensive and overrated until I ate one. I'm like, I would eat this for lunch.
Either the regular salted or the ones with the cinnamon sugar ones.
Yes.
Man, and if you get the regular salted, you put some mustard on that, the bad boy.
Mustard, babe?
Yes.
Mustard on. Have you tried it?
It's good with mustard.
Have you tried it?
I tried it.
Don't knock it till you try it, dog. Don't knock it till you try it. Yes, you got to get the soft pretzel with the mustard on it.
It's like a hot dog bun with salt on it.
You know what?
Better, in my opinion, honestly. It is better. What's going on, Quita? What's going on, Q? Thank y'all for tuning in. It is the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. We're going through our days and our months of the week. It is National Volunteer Week. I'm not sure if you all knew that. National Volunteer Week. So find some way to get out there and volunteer. Do it as a couple, do it as a family, but go out there and volunteer with each other. That's a good way to actually to bond as a couple, as a matter of fact, by doing some volunteer work. Here's one that I actually saw somebody who actually participated in this one today on Facebook. National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day is today. It was today, sir.
Oh.
Yeah. But I actually saw somebody who was like, I feel uncomfortable, but I'm wearing my pajamas to work today. And I was like, wow, people really wore their pajamas to work.
For those who work from home.
Oh, okay.
You can do it anytime you feel like it, every day. But, I mean, apparently, I don't know where they work, but apparently their job obviously supported the fact. But do you got to put stipulations around
You
that?
do. You have to put stipulations around everything nowadays.
Somebody come with
some people
wear your drawers under your pajamas. Don't be coming up in there with no drawers on.
I was about to say, you can have somebody with their cheeks out or somebody with a bulge walking around.
Listen.
And have somebody calling HR because they didn't got sexually harassed.
If you gifted, we understand. I don't need to see all that.
We don't need to see it.
Keep it hidden.
Keep it for your spouse to see only. But it is national.
To cheat or not to cheat.
Exactly. To cheat or not to cheat. That is the question. Because believe it or not, there's a statistic that says that's where a lot of affairs happen in the workplace. We'll go through that later. What else? What else we got here? National Animal Crackers Day.
What?
National
Now I will beat
Crackers
some animal crackers up. We keep a big 5-pound jar at the house, and we run through them within like a couple of months. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah. And we got the low fat ones too. So when you're eating them, you don't really feel the the calories or whatever.
So
whatever.
Here's the question: do you eat the head first or the body?
I eat the whole thing. I used to eat the head first because I used to want to feel like I'm a...
I just asked because some people do that. Some people are like,
it's serious.
About that.
It's
some
serious.
People be
Back
like,
in the day, it was serious.
Yeah, I just want to eat the head first. You got some crazy people out there that
I see.
Not me. I ain't got no animal crackers. I'm just saying. What's going on, Dana? What else we got today? National High Five Day is on Thursday. That. Yes, that is actually on Thursday. Oh, I don't
know though, but how many people high five nowadays? I'm really a little skeptical about that because for people.
Yeah. You don't wash your hands?
Yeah.
It's definitely not in the workplace.
Get
the fist.
Pound. Get a pound.
Dog, yeah.
But even that, sometimes you be like, bro, did you wash the back of your knuckles? Like, why your knuckles look like they ashy like that? I don't want to give you a pound. Just give me the head nod and let's keep it moving. And then you wonder why I'm so antisocial at work.
Dirty knuckles.
Dirty knuckles. I'm just saying. Or National Hangout Day is on the 19th as well. National Hangout Day. So find us somewhere to hang out with. Hang out with your spouse. And last but not least, we got National Lookalike Day. I think everybody has a lookalike somewhere. You know who Mr. Entertainment's lookalike is?
Yes.
Hands
down.
Who's your lookalike?
Let's see. Can you guess it?
Let me guess. Would it be Kurt Franklin?
Heck yeah.
Yes. I get that all the time.
Mr. Entertainment's lookalike is Kurt Franklin. You know who I used to get? And I haven't gotten this much. You remember the guy from Sister Act? The guy who used to sing Joyful. He was in City High, the group City High as well. Yeah, do you remember that dude?
This City High remixes.
That he played in Sister Act. I used to get that all the time.
The dark skinned guy. Yes.
Between him and Sean from Boys II Men, I was like, I don't look like neither one of them.
Yeah, but pictures from when you were younger, you do.
From when I was younger, seriously, I used to get it. I never understood it.
Sean.
He like the guy from Clips.
From who? From Pharrell's group? The
yes.
Clips? Interesting.
I
know who you're talking about, but I don't see that either. I don't know.
Okay, what about the muscle bound guy, the one that be doing all the commercials or whatever?
Terry Crews?
Yes.
I got hair, dog. Like,
he does not look like no Terry Crews.
If he didn't have hair. Come on, y'all, weigh in. Don't let me by myself. Listen.
I don't like Terry Crews. So who's Cody's lookalike?
I don't have one. Moving right
Jill
along.
Scott.
She has the aura of Jill, but I don't know if she looks like Jill.
Nope, I look like my mama.
That she does.
Look like.
That she does.
A splitting image of my mom.
She looked just like Miss Willingham. Yes, she does. That you cannot deny by any stretch of.
Shut up, Gina. I hear you saying something.
Gina can't talk because all y'all look like her to some degree. Every single one of y'all look like her to some degree. Yo, so again, don't forget I have not made mention of this in quite some time, but it is not too late for you all to join the APLMC Valentine's Cruise Getaway for 2019. Yes, I am already talking about what you can do for Valentine's Day for 2019. You can actually join us for the APLMC Valentine's Getaway Cruise, February 11th through the 16th of 2019. It is getting down on the Carnival Paradise. We are sailing on the Carnival Paradise. We're actually getting to Cozumel, Mexico, and Grand Cayman. If you have not been to either one of those places, I have. They are great locations to enjoy, especially with your spouse. We're doing this just a couples getaway. So we're going to have a great time with couples. We're going to do a sail away party. We're going to do some seminars. We're going to have some games. We got a bunch of stuff that we'll be doing, some giveaways. And then you can't beat the fact that it's sand and sun and all of that stuff for Valentine's Day. In February. About to say, for the simple fact that this year it has been so cold here in the States, but in the islands, in the Caribbean, it has been so warm and so lovely that we had to decide to let's go ahead and take the party to the 7 Seas and let's hit up the Carnival Paradise for the APLMC Valentine's Getaway Cruise. For more information, all you have to do is send an email or actually visit us on our website at aplmcoaching.com. Visit us on our website at aplmcoaching.com. There's a link there. You just fill out some quick information that will wind up giving you what's the word I'm looking for? A quote. Thank you.
I was gonna say
that will get you a quote for your cruise cabin. So book your cruise cabin today by going to aplmcoaching.com for your cruise quote. We want to see y'all on the ship. We want to get as many of y'all on the ship as possible. We want to take over the Carnival Paradise with all APLMC and Ty and Cody family. We want y'all on the ship. I guarantee y'all this will be a fun time, a great time. As well as, if you have not joined the APLMC Text Club, join the APLMC Text Club right now. It's very simple. All you have to do is pick up your phone, open up your text application, and text the letters APLMC to the number 33222. Text the letters APLMC, which stands for A Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching, to the number 33222.
Get on board, y'all.
Get on board. A Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching is Ty and Cody. And by what we do with that and with the Text Club, it's just our way of giving back to you all for being loyal listeners, loyal fans, loyal people who just need encouragement through their marriage. I'm not going to lie. We all need encouragement in our marriages every now and then.
Do.
I need it. She needs it. He needs it. We all need it because we, sometimes when we walk in the studio today, Mr. Entertainment says, hey, look, I got to make sure, how y'all doing? Because I got to make sure my people are still married. Man. I got to make sure we check up on people every now and then because you never know what people are going through sometimes. Sometimes you just need that one little bit of word of encouragement that can completely change your day or make you look at something completely different for your spouse. And the next thing you know, you're actually taking that to heed or taking that to heart and so forth, and you actually putting that to use in your marriage, and it changes everything.
No doubt. Speaking of spouse, congratulations to comedian Charles McMurray. Just got married.
Congratulations, Mr. McMurray. You and your blushing bride. Yes. May you be blessed with many, 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 many wonderful years of marriage. I am looking forward to meeting you all and having you all in studio with us at some point in time. What's going on, Black? I see you tuned in with us.
What up, Black?
Yes, we can't wait till next week because next week is also Man Cave.
Yes, we back.
We are back. We are back. So for those who are actually in the Charlotte area, I'm speaking Man Cave on 2 terms because we actually have an actual meetup group with the Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching. That's Man Cave, Men About Nuptials. We actually meet here in the Charlotte area at APLMC Coaching, APLM Coaching offices, I won't say studios, and we actually get together with just husbands. No women allowed.
None.
Y'all are not allowed in the building, not allowed in the studio, not allowed in the office, because it is our turn for husbands to get together, to encourage one another, to get together, to uplift one another, to get together, to learn from one another, and just the overall fellowship. Sometimes we as husbands, we don't get out and have the opportunity to fellowship and love on one another like we need to.
Absolutely.
And this is a great opportunity to fellowship and encourage one another and talk about things that we as husbands go through, we as fathers go through, so that way at the end of the day, when we go home from our little 2 to 4 meetup, we can be better husbands and be better
Absolutely.
men.
I want to give a big shout out to Valerie Simmons. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and she just want to say hey to support her story movement. So big shout out to Ms. Valerie. We definitely
Thank you for sharing, Valerie. Thank you for sharing. National Mental Health Awareness Month. So we'll definitely be on the lookout and try to do something special in the month of May for that. So that because mental awareness is mental health is something that is very important, and I know they talk about it a lot when it comes to these kids and these mass shootings and or just being in relationships in general. Mental health awareness is very, very important. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. Thank you, Valerie, for bringing that up to us. But we also have as well, back to Man Cave for just a moment. We also have our Man Cave show. So as part of Ty and Cody, I've been trying to do this at least monthly, and I've been getting my fellas to be able to participate with me. So that's why I was giving a shout out to my man Black, because he'll be in the studio with us, and I can see who else I can get in the studio with us next week, so we can have Man Cave here on the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. I want to be on the panel, man. Hey, we got to get you from behind the camera. I get on the panel, man. We got to get you from behind the camera so you can be on the panel, because I know you have some good stuff to say. Oh man. I know you had some good, but ladies, next week.
You can train me, and I'll take over your spot. There you go. That way he can be on the panel.
There you go. But you're not allowed to go. She tried to speak that one. There you go. But you're not allowed in the building. But ladies, we want your questions. We know you all have questions for us men. We know you all want to know what goes on in the mind of your husband. You want questions answered. This is the perfect opportunity to have your questions answered. Send your questions in. You can send them in on social media, the Ty and Cody on Purpose show, or if you want to send them in anonymously, you can go ahead and hit us up at coach@aplmcoaching.com.
Did you say monogamously?
Anonymously.
I thought it said monogamously. I was like, that was a good segue.
Yeah. Send your questions in, because we want to answer your questions. I know you got questions. So go ahead and send your questions in. And like I said, it's unfiltered. It's us husbands answering your questions and talking about the stuff that men talk about as if you are not in the room or as if you are not listening. So that's what the APLMC Man Cave coaching show is about. But the actual APLMC Man Cave meetup group, that's just something for us men and us husbands that you all are not included in at all. But you do reap the benefits, in my opinion, on the backside.
I think so too.
You reap the benefits. We get to go home and you all get to see what it is. You all get to see. Mandrell says today is also National Used to Be Hot Yesterday but Cold Today Day.
Listen, truthful.
Can it stay like one temperature for like more than 24 hours? That's all I ask.
It's snowing somewhere, like
it's snowing in the mountains.
Yesterday, my mother sent me a text and said, "Happy spring." And the front lawn is filled with snow.
Oh my!
That's
goodness.
Wisconsin for you.
That's ridiculous. But it's snowing in North Carolina somewhere. I saw it on the news earlier today.
But not like it is in Wisconsin.
No, nothing like it is in Wisconsin.
We got a tornado warning in our area.
Dog. Oh yeah, so
I gotta went off, dog.
I have to give my thoughts and prayers to those who are in Greensboro, North Carolina, because Greensboro, North Carolina, really did get hit by a tornado. I said Category 2, 2 or 3 tornado, where they actually had trees, houses. I was telling Cody on the way over on the news. They were showing on nightly news. There was a church who had the roof ripped off, where you could actually see from aerial view the full inside of the church, the pews, the pulpit, everything, as if it was a playset or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I know our people up in Greensboro unfortunately got hit with that tornado, and definitely got to give a shout out to them, and that you all recover, and that you are staying out there, being safe out there.
Absolutely.
So giving a shout out to our people in Greensboro, North Carolina. We appreciate y'all for tuning in as well. But y'all know what it is. It's the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We are going to take a very quick break, but we are talking about the topic, to cheat or not to cheat. That is the question. We want to know, what are your thoughts about cheating? We hit you up on social media. I got some responses to read and so forth, and we're going to get into this whole cheating scandal. We will talk to y'all in 2.5 seconds. Don't go nowhere. Go ahead and share this video with your family and friends and invite everyone to tune in. We shall return in 30 seconds.
WBND Radio.
Home of the Brothers in Demand radio show.
This is gospel music 24/7.
We come to worship Christ.
It's Ty and Cody on Purpose.
Ty and Cody show. WBND radio.
It's Ty and Cody on Purpose. WBND radio.
We're doing marriage unfiltered. Ty and Cody show.
WBNDradio.com.
Catch us every Monday at 8:30 p.m.
Live purposefully.
Love purposefully on Ty and
Cody on Purpose.
Go tell neighbor.
You're listening to the number one internet radio station
On the planet.
WBND.
WBND Radio.
home of the Brothers in Demand radio show.
This is gospel music 24/7.
Become the worship Christ.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. It is the Ty and Cody on Purpose show live in the studio. He said, hey. 803-692-6370 is the number. Let me repeat that because I screwed it up. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We are taking your live calls, and we are also reading your answers and your requests and so forth. I say requests as if we listen to the music. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth. It is the Ty and Cody on Purpose on all of those social media activities. So you can hit us up. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions on cheating, to cheat or not to cheat. So this is a hot topic for several reasons. We've covered in the past quite a few celebrities. Kevin Hart and his cheating scandal. I think that was last summer, I think it was, or something like that, early this year. We know about Tiger Woods from a couple years ago. You know, Jay-Z has openly admitted the fact that he has cheated on Beyonce.
No.
Not Beyonce. Not Queen Bee, right? Don't let me get started on that because, you know, she just did Coachella. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big Beyonce fan. She got some music out there I like, but I'm not a big Beyonce fan. Not saying that she deserves to be cheated on.
Don't make the beehive get on you.
That's what I'm saying. Not that she deserves to be cheated on, but I'm just saying.
No one deserves to be
that,
cheated on.
Jay-Z admitted he's cheated and so forth.
With who, though?
With Becky with the good hair.
Not Becky.
Becky with the good hair.
Okay.
Mr. Entertainment, I ain't fooling with you today. And then, as of late, people, I don't know what this big affair thing with Tristan Thompson. He's a basketball player for Cleveland, and that Kardashian chick, Khloe. And, you know, she's pregnant and so forth, and all these pictures and stuff come out. But it's funny that, you know, all the people that I listed are actually men, believe it or not. And we'll get into that as well, because as if women don't cheat. And that's the crazy thing. But I think, to your opinion, and that was a question that somebody actually mentioned earlier. You know, I think women cheat. Women just are just better cheaters because they don't get caught.
I love them. All of them.
Wait, they're awesome because they're cheaters?
They are awesome. We need to take a page out of their book. That's all I'm saying.
Wait.
That's another whole show in itself.
Men need to take a page out of women's book.
Absolutely. I've picked all of y'all cards already. I've been doing this for a while, so I know what y'all do.
You need to clarify that. You've been doing what for a while?
I've been researching and looking up how you guys work.
Okay.
So if you watch the Animal Planet and the way they roam
Animal Planet,
and we're moving.
Yes, and we're moving before Stats comes in here and snatches your mic away from you.
Because I'm not going to let the cat out the bag.
Yeah, don't let the cat out the bag. So, my question is, because this is interesting, and I have several questions, and again, I want to hear from you all. We need your participation in this conversation.
I'm all in.
803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. I first want to know, what counts as cheating to you in your marriage?
Lying.
Yep. Lying counts. And so lying in the aspect of what?
All right, let me tell you what women do. And some of y'all might get mad at me. I don't even care.
Okay.
So this is what women do. They create this trail. And then they go back and clean the trail up. For example, if you look at their text message history, it used to have certain messages. But then if you were to go back and look at them again, that history will be gone, deleted, and no longer existed. And when you question it, it's like, what do you mean?
Because if there's no evidence, then
you have no
proof. Or if you go in and there are messages that are missing, that the conversation now no longer makes sense.
And there's gaps.
And it's like, well, that doesn't. Well, I don't know what you're talking about because I never got that text.
So, but again, as men, we have to play dumb because there's no evidence.
Exactly.
So,
but that throws up our antennas, though.
I don't necessarily agree.
You're part of the conversation.
So what don't you agree with?
That just because text messages are deleted,
they just disappeared,
that's a sign that someone is cheating?
No, there's a sign that there's a sign.
No, I'm saying that there are so
No, because he gets on me all the time of making sure that I am clearing out stuff to make room,
I
for
say
memory,
clear out your
right?
notifications at the top of your screen.
She misunderstood you.
No, but you've even said, even notifications is one thing, but you've even said about text messages and all that. Babe, how many text messages and your record of your call logs?
Every once in a blue moon, you do need to go ahead and scrub your phone. Every once in a blue moon, but not every single time.
So just because someone has purged does not mean that there's any, anything going on.
But see, that's where the issue becomes in, because there are people who purge only certain things because they know that what they're doing is wrong.
Correct.
So as Crystal says, or as Mr. Entertainment says, don't lie, period. Because if you, and I just had to have this conversation with my son, and not about lying, but in something in general. If you know it's wrong, then you should have nothing to hide. There's no reason for you to even scrub your history when, on a regular basis. Now, you want to do it every, periodically, once a month, something like that. Great. But you just go through and before I go to sleep, I'm over here. Let me delete this one. Yeah, don't want that one. And now all of a sudden, like I said, your history doesn't make any sense, or your messages don't make any sense. Then you're deleting because you're hiding something.
That's not necessarily true. It could be a case where you and I have experienced this. You may, we have an application on our computer where I can text from my computer to my phone that will go to the sender who texts to my phone. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Everything that I send through my computer does not necessarily transmit on my phone history.
Got you.
So there will be gaps that show, that won't show a continuous conversation.
Also, to your point, if you're in a weak signal area, ladies, sometimes...
You know what? I'm done with
Thank you, Mr. Entertainment. Tiffany says, and I didn't know this, Tiffany. Thanks for pointing this out. Text messages, voicemails, etc. I know voicemails don't. Does not take up memory on your stuff. On your point. So
she said does take up memory.
Oh, it does take up memory.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I'm trying to read.
Thank
Tiffany,
you.
No, side you on. No, huh?
It does after a while.
Does.
But what I do is certain people, if I know I've been communicating for a long period of time, I'll delete that person. But there's some that I like to keep just so I can, when I text them, I can keep a history.
I don't. Every once in a blue moon, about once a month, I just delete all my text messages because I'm like, I'm done with that conversation. You ain't texting me back 5 months ago.
But for me, sometimes I'll forget who they are, and I'll be like, oh, I remember it based off of the conversation sometimes.
Gotcha.
So that's just for me because I'm getting older.
So, okay, so again, but, I've asked this question as what constitutes this cheating in your marriage? Because it can be different for different people. And on Instagram, we've had quite a few responses. Rent underscore spoon. This is people's names are hilarious. 0514 says, let's start here. Having friends of the opposite sex that your spouse does not approve of. That could be a gateway to cheating, in my opinion. Ronnie, for real, says entertaining anything you wouldn't approve of your partner entertaining when it comes to the opposite sex, i.e. texting, lunch dates, etc. And then last but not least, we have Heath Tracy says emotional affairs are a real thing. Beware. Yeah, so there are things and the reason I say what constitutes your marriage because some people feel like what works for me may not work for you. What may work in one relationship may not work in this relationship, and so it's interesting to see what some people actually constitute consider cheating or so forth in their marriage. And it seems like one of the things is having friends of the opposite sex that your spouse doesn't approve of, as well as that was in two people's comments, having friends of the opposite sex or entertaining people of the opposite sex that your spouse may not approve of. And I think that's important. You have to put the shoe on the other foot sometimes because a lot of times I think we play naive to things that we like.
Yeah.
And because we like it, we think it's okay. However, if the shoe was on the other foot, we would go, oh, wait a minute, hold up, that don't work. And Cody's favorite response, or her favorite phrase is what? You hypocrite.
That is not my favorite phrase.
What's your phrase?
My favorite phrase is, be careful what you ask. Make sure you're ready for what you ask because you will receive the truth.
But what's the word that you always like using? Hypocrite, correct?
No, I do not use
So what's the word you don't use? What word did you use there?
It's the one that rhymes with that one, Cody. Come on.
Exactly. But the point is, people don't like looking at themselves in the mirror to recognize when they are doing something, but yet if their spouse does it on the other end, then, it's like, oh, well, why are you doing this? Well, I'm just following suit in exactly the same thing you was doing. And I think even when it comes to Cody's point in her phrase that she just mentioned, don't ask a question unless you're ready for the full answer. Yeah. There shouldn't even be a point within your relationship where you shouldn't be upfront and forthcoming with that type of information in the first place. Yeah,
and absolutely. And I think we need to be straight up with one another totally. Like, for example, opposite sex. If you're going to do it, then put yourself in your spouse's shoes and say, okay, if that was me, would I be okay with it? And I had to do a self-check because I said to myself, some of the stuff that I do, like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Right.
Like, I'm bold, audacious, and all that other stuff. So it's like, it's just who I am personality wise. But then on the real side, I'm like, if my wife was me, I don't think I would like it.
You won't think you would like it.
No, it's pretty bad.
And so then you have to put yourself in check and go, maybe I should pull back on these type of things because I
can't because it's my personality. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And it's no harm, no foul. But at the same time, I have to watch me. Right. And the other person who I'm entertaining because they may get the wrong vibe based off of who I am.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
And Monet says, cheating is anything done to take away from your spouse.
Say that again.
Cheating is anything done to take away from your spouse.
And I was going to say, it don't always have to be sexual. Ty made a great point.
And I was getting ready to say.
Mentally, there's some people that mentally have our spouse's attention, whether it's anger or whatever it is, and it takes the focus off of us. Like, for example, I think we had a show a good while back where if one of our in-laws would always make your spouse upset, now that takes the attention away from your spouse, and it's like, dang, cousin so-and-so around, and now you feeling some type of way.
Yeah, because there are two major categories in which people have affairs or infidelity. There's the physical, there's the sexual, and then there's the emotional. So you're actually having that mental affair or that emotional affair in comparison to having that sexual affair. And in the research that I've done, in a lot of cases, it's interesting that they say men are the ones who actually are the more physical, who cheat more physically than in comparison to the women who cheat more emotionally. And this is what I actually found funny. Cody sent me a video the other day that I actually had seen quite a few weeks back, and a lady by the name of Maureen McGrath, she did a TEDx talk, and she made this statement: men cheat to stay in their marriage and women cheat to leave their marriage. I thought that was pretty interesting. She says men cheat to stay in their marriage and women cheat to leave their marriage. So basically, when a woman cheats, she's fed up, she's done, she's left. I'm looking for a way out. I don't want to be here anymore. However, when a man cheats, he's cheating because he's lacking something and he's trying to get it from somewhere else so he can still be happy at home. Because in most cases, and I do have the statistics and I'll read them in a minute, a lot of people, when they do cheat, a lot of them really don't want to leave their actual relationship. And so they're doing it to fill that void of whatever it is that they actually are missing at home. So for women in that case, a lot of them, they say us men, we don't listen. We don't like to talk. We don't like to do those things. And so women go, okay, well, if you won't talk, then I'm going to go to John, or I'm going to go to, Mike, or I'm going to go to this guy or this guy, and I'm going to go talk to him. Men, on the other hand, we're sexual. We're, in most cases, and I guess all, because there are some very sexual women, we're the more sexual being, and we're like, well, we want it, and our wives are like, no, I'm tired, I got a headache, it's that time of the month, my back hurt, or, whatever it is, and, we're like, well, dang, if we're not getting it from you, meanwhile, Sally Sue over here is giving us the wink. I'm just saying, or because I don't like mentioning real people's names, and then y'all be like,
"But you just did for guys."
Well, I said Mike and
Big Joe.
Sally Sue's over here giving us the wink, and then we over here like, she's stroking our ego, making us feel good, telling us how good we look, which our wives isn't doing, and then the first thing we go do is we go decide to go be physical with another woman.
But I still say there are instances where the spouse is feeding the other spouse, right? What Absolutely. He or she needs. it's still that person still will make it their own prerogative to do what they want to do.
Listen,
so I don't necessarily think it always means there's something lacking at home.
No, my wife uses a key point all the time in our household, and it's self-control. Like, you know how to control yourself at the end of the day, right? So whether you argue, whether there's and again, unless there's a cutoff valve, there might be a little lack, like maybe 2 weeks max, probably. Okay, if you can't go 2 weeks, then you need to get that checked out. But for the most part, it has to be self-control and unselfishness, right?
Right.
And when you put those two in the same category, it always thinks about if I can take my selfishness out of the way and take self out of it and add spouse, and then vice versa. Now it's a two-way street to where you know what my needs are, and I know, what your needs or what you need in the moment at the same time. So now there's a checks and balance.
Right. And like you said, it is a whole thing of self-control, because they even have websites out there now. I mean, this kind of blew my mind. There are websites out there now for married people to find other married people to cheat with.
That's sad.
Oh my.
That's very sad.
And believe it or not, on that website, do you know the 2 times of the year that their enrollment actually goes up?
Oh my.
Right after Mother's Day and the day after Father's Day.
Why is that?
2 times that they're, because and this is my personal opinion. I don't know. The article that I read didn't go into why that is. But my personal opinion is, if Mother's Day rolls around and the mother does not feel appreciated from her husband because he didn't give her anything, he didn't take her anywhere, he didn't do anything for her, she goes, he doesn't love me anymore. I need to find somebody who does love me. I can get that attention. I can get that affection. I can get, whatever it is. And same thing with men. We openly talk about how, we don't get the gifts that, and we don't get the attention or the good gifts from our wives and our kids and so forth. Same thing with men. Men go, well, I'm not getting it from her, so I'm going to find
I was looking at it from the other perspective. Did the article state what gender actually looks at the site, after Mother's Day? Is it truly the women? I was thinking it was the men. After they've doted on their wife and have done the father-husband thing. Exactly. That's how I was thinking about it.
Gotcha. No, it didn't. Believe it. It didn't actually say
that. Was the first thing I thought about, because I was like, wait a minute, those are great moments. But now that you brought that part, Ty, I didn't look at it from that aspect.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So that was a good angle.
Yeah. And all right, so here's another one. The 6 most common places where affairs start. Now, don't forget, people, our phone lines are open. We want to hear from you and talk about cheating and so forth. Have you experienced it in your relationship? What constitutes cheating in your marriage? And, do you even think it's right, for that matter, or wrong? 803-692-6370. We also have quite a few comments that are on Facebook that Cody will read in a few minutes. But 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We want to hear from you. But the 6 most common places where affairs start. Can you think of any of them, Mr. Entertainment?
Yes, the job.
That would be
J-O-B.
Yeah, he said the strip club. Believe it or not, people do. But go ahead,
I can't think of anything.
Those were not on the number. Stop at 6. So actually, you had one of them. So this is pretty interesting. So number 1, the most place where affairs happen the most is in the office.
That's because that's where you spend the majority of time.
That's where you spend the majority of your time, and that's where you actually grow relationships
with people
big time, right? Number 2, at the gym.
Those who work out.
I would disagree with that.
Really?
Because every time I go to the gym, they roll their eyes at me. And I'm looking like, if I wanted to get intimate, I'd be mad. Like, why y'all roll your eyes at me? I ain't do nothing to none of y'all.
You know why? That's because you come in there looking all sexy, and they ain't mad at you for coming in there. They're like, what this man doing in the gym? He don't need gym time. Go home to your wife. That's why. At the gym is number 2.
Okay.
Number 3. This one probably did not exist 20 years ago. on social media.
Okay.
A lot of people get, reconnected to their exes and people from their past and so on and so forth.
I was going to say, you would trust somebody on social media?
So but you got think about, you have dating sites. That's considered social media as well.
Yeah,
BlackPeopleMeet.com, FarmersOnly.com.
Farmers Only.
Yeah, so I was going to add, whenever you said when they get our spouse's time, social media steals your spouse sometimes. Before you know it, they're like on their thumbs going at it.
Yes. That's
and
true.
It's like, wait a minute, like, oh.
Yes. Social media will steal your time, especially when you spend quality time with one another.
Yeah.
And they're doing this the whole time. It's like, hey, I thought we were supposed to be spending one-on-one time.
Yeah, like, what?
But,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Number 4.
Whatever, dude.
Through a social circle. So like friends of friends. So you hang out with some friends, and you're hanging out, and you meet people through your social circle.
But if you're married and that social circle introduces you and want you to cheat, like, that's bad.
Well, they may not necessarily introduce you and want you to cheat.
Your social circle can't make you cheat.
I'm pointing the blame game, Cody. I can't take all this by myself.
None of these
peer
things,
pressure.
Of these 6, none of them are saying they make you cheat. Isn't it? Like you said, it is a personal decision of your own. But your social circle, people like you said, you may hang out with the boys and they bring you around, somebody, and it's never intentional, but you wind up having some things in common, and next thing you know, y'all will wind up having a side conversation, and that conversation goes elsewhere.
I got you.
So through your social circle, your boys ain't mean for that to happen, but it happened, or your girls didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened. Number 5. At a volunteering gig. Now that one there, I thought was a stretch.
That's not a stretch, because that's a common interest. And
yeah,
typically,
you're
find something in common, based upon the person you're with.
So in other words, if your wife is always volunteering, you might want to side eye.
I always say no when he mentions
no. Then that means you need to volunteer with her. How about that?
Cody. Listen to what I just said. I told you I know what y'all women up to. I'm just pointing some things out that,
Because this is the girls only volunteering trip.
Listen, they do a lot of volunteering. I volunteer.
Exactly.
And guess what?
Wait, did you say I volunteer pastor?
See that?
You know what?
And guess what?
That's off limits.
I'm being messy.
Gina already guessed my number 6.
Yes,
Mr. Entertainment just went right into it. Number 6 is in church. That is where number 6, the common places where affairs happen.
Okay.
Church.
Can I be messy? Because these last 3 you said is a lot of women are involved in these things. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So when you have either lonely women or women that feel like, and no disrespect, this is real, I've researched this, when they don't get a certain amount of attention, and you got to remember, men sometimes are disconnected. You can go ahead and add the grocery store to the next one somewhere down the line, because what happened is when women are when they're disconnected, somehow there's something happens and we miss it. But then sometimes they find themselves playing undercover agent where they got to go through and clean all that stuff up, and it looks innocent.
It looks innocent
and healthy.
Nothing, but however, on the back end, and it's odd because truth be told, I know people, and
I know some women mad at me tonight.
But I know people who have been in situations in extramarital affairs in the office. I don't know anybody go to the gym like that, on social media, through their social circle. And I don't know much about volunteering, and even in church. I know somebody who actually dated one of the ministers, and the minister was married.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even intentional. It just happens through relationships.
No, nothing just happens, though.
You know what?
There's a grooming process.
And you know what I say in regards to that? Because
one night stands just happen.
No. But this is what I say, because men and women, they play it's a game, in my opinion. It's honestly a game. But before I even explain that, let's talk to this caller. We have a caller who's called in. Caller, thank you for calling the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. Call us, tell your name and where you are calling from.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, good and yourself. Tell us your name, where you calling from.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
Now look, this is Lynette. Y'all know.
Hey Lynette, how are you?
I'm listening to number 6. I remember one time somebody said, I think it's problems on both ends. I don't think it's just always the women. I think that when it comes down to spiritual and depends on the situation, they see the weakness, and they go in for the attack. I remember one prophet said, reason why so many women are coming for the pastor is because you're freeing up their spirit, so their flesh wants to reward you.
Okay.
So a lot of the times you see somebody that's broken, male or female, and then you tend to, what's going on? You want to talk to the Lord said. Now you just done tapped into something that they needed to hear, and then look what happened.
Yeah,
and that's where I think a lot of the combobulation, a lot of the scrutiny, a lot of the flirting, this, that, all that comes in, and they lose sight of what the real problem is. They saw that little crack window of a mustard seed of an opening, and that's what happened. And then a lot of people don't like to address that. And that's why they always say, never have a conference by yourself. Always have somebody else to be there. Remember, time you can have a meeting with the pastor or the deaconess or the deacon by yourself, and then things change.
Yeah, you are 100% right.
People don't want to address that because they're also messy too.
Yeah, you are 100% right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lynette, for calling. We appreciate your thoughts. And so even to that, what I was going to say is that sometimes people, they, like she said, people test. Thank you, Lynette. Sometimes people test the waters. And again, our phone line is still open, 803-692-6370. When people test the waters, as Lynette said, in regards to finding people's vulnerable spots. So if I'm at work and I see a young lady and I say, oh, you look nice today. If you don't immediately shut me down, that gives me opportunity to come back and say something else to see how far I can continue to go to spark this conversation to see how we can start a connection. But if you don't shut me down and say, oh, thank you, my husband told me the same thing, letting you know my husband told me the same thing, or my wife has told me the same, or my wife bought this outfit for me. Thank you, keep it moving. Then people feel like, oh, I can say something now to allow that connection to happen. And so now I can see, I know you married, and I've already said that you look good, but now let me come in and say, oh, you look down today. Are you okay? Now I can start more of a conversation. Now I can start to develop that more emotional grooming process that Lynette was just talking about. That people, like you said, it's intentional, but it's not intentional. It's not intentional from the person who may look good or maybe having issues at home, but it's intentional from someone else who, like she said, is waiting for that opportunity or waiting for that chance to wait for your spouse to mess up or for you to do something to see, let's see how I can bait this person. And so you're thinking, oh, I'm just talking to this person. It's just a platonic relationship, a platonic friendship. But little do you know, that person on the other end, and I say this because I know men who do this. I know women who do this, who prey on people of the opposite sex. And little does that person know, next thing you know, I've told you my lifelong secrets. I've told you more information that you need to know about me and my spouse. And next thing you know, you feel comfortable to now touch me. You feel comfortable to now make even more comments to say that I shouldn't be in this relationship, or I should be in this relationship, or how about you be with me, or even gets you to thinking, well, dang, you're a better person. I should actually be with you instead of being my husband. Now you're starting text messages. Now you're calling. Now you're hanging out and meeting in secret locations and going to lunch. And next thing you know, it's a big thing that you did not see coming.
That's good.
It's a big, and so I say people really need to be very aware in what they think is being something naive. People need to be very aware of what they're actually doing.
Yeah, I think knowing when to open up and when not to open up.
It's called discernment.
It is.
Okay, thank you, Cody.
Yes.
It is. People need to be very aware of the conversations that they have, the people that they have conversations with, and in the environment in which they do. Don't have the one-on-one lunch dates. Don't have the one-on-one times with one another, because she's probably reading comments there on Facebook. And I wish she wants to read them out loud, we're laughing. But it's funny that people don't actually see a lot of these things. It's interesting though that infidelity is not according to this one study that I'm actually reading. It says a man may realize that an affair is hurting his wife, family, and even his own life, but will still cheat. His personal needs of being wanted, valued, and appreciated by another woman will win out, especially if he feels unwanted, undervalued, and taken for granted at home.
That's true.
So, sometimes we feel like we know what we're doing is wrong, but we want that attention, we want that affection, we want what it is that we want, and we'll still do it anyway. Or here's another one. A recent study revealed that most female cheaters use their smartphone for their affairs. This is what I find funny. The iPhone is their device of choice. Nearly 64% of women polled said they would log on when they are in the same room as their spouse. To your point, women are very bold in their cheating, but they don't get caught. They will sit there and cheat in front of you with their phone,
thinking they're on Pinterest,
like you said, going out with their
Instagram.
girlfriends or whatever the case is, and the husband is none the wiser
because the man has checked out and he's tuned into his video games. Get off the joystick, dog, and get your stick right. They on the video games, they whatever, being little boys, and the ladies are sitting there, chicka, thumb cheating.
Meanwhile, us men, we not as bright. We sitting there and we got pictures coming through on our phone, and
like what, dude?
Meanwhile, we got
Can you put it on vibrate at least?
Meanwhile, and you wonder why men get caught cheating and women don't get caught cheating because they're more smart about it. Because it's funny, people think that women don't cheat, but they do.
Listen,
but men just get caught. I listed 5 men that got caught cheating.
I know my wife faithful, but my wife will turn off her Wi-Fi, her data. She'll disconnect everything. She'll be like, "Look, I'm cutting it all."
But there
off.
are times you should. There are times you should cut that off, especially when you are with your spouse, because there are times you should have a distraction-free zone.
Yeah.
Where you are strictly spending time with your spouse and your spouse only. Work should be put aside. Kids should be put aside. Sometimes even TV, unless you're watching a movie or a TV show together or something like that, sometimes that stuff should be put aside so you can actually spend that one-on-one quality time with your spouse. You should do that at least 3 to 4 times a week.
And she threatened me and made me feel afraid because she was standing there mean grilling me like, you better say all the right stuff while you on the air. And I'm sitting here saying all the right stuff. See, look.
There are certain red flags that signify a partner may be cheating, such as a sudden shift in behavior, either positive or negative. If a partner suddenly becomes super critical, he or she may be setting up the other person, because I've seen that before. They set up the other person to be at fault for his or her affair. Another sign is a partner becoming unnecessarily generous, such as with gifts and affections, and often going out of their way out of guilt. So, some people have that whole guilt factor where, because they're guilty of what they may be doing in an extramarital affair, they either they start to cause issues at home. Mm-hmm. So that way they feel justified because, if I can cause this issue and I can point out the fact that she's doing this and she's doing that.
Sabotaging?
Yeah, people self-sabotage because that gives them the justification in their mind. If I can self-sabotage and say that you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, that gives me an out to say it's okay for me to do it over here.
That's a lot of work.
And
all that energy that you're spending to plan that, you could be putting that towards your own relationship, right?
Exactly. Real quick, let me read some quick. This is I looked up on infidelityfacts.com. When does infidelity most occur? Infidelity most occurs not A, it's not optional multiple choice, but these are the times that infidelity most occurs. After the first year of marriage is one of the times that infidelity most occurs. Mr. Entertainment shrunk up his eyebrows. Mm-hmm. And that's because people are in that honeymoon stage. After the first year. You're in that honeymoon stage. You've been dating. Everything's been hunky-dory. Everything's been, so great. Then all of a sudden, you've lived together for a year, and you start to realize your spouse's nuances that you don't like.
Rigor mortis.
You know what?
Rigor mortis, really?
Stuff sets in that you realize that, maybe what did I get myself into? How did I really sign up for this for the long term? Sally Sue don't look that bad to me after all, or John don't look that bad to me. Let me go and cheat because this is so. After the first year of marriage, another one. After the first child is born, and this is usually for men because usually I don't personally, I haven't done, and I've got a couple of kids, and they say that, you know what they say with, I got you. They say, usually after a woman has children, the man no longer looks at his spouse as an intimate, person or a sexual person, because now she looks like a motherly being. And so now, because you're not looking at her as a mother, you're looking at her as a motherly being. Now your sights are now set on someone else as a sexual being. So now you're looking, to get your sexual things fulfilled elsewhere. Number 3, the 5th to 7th year, usually that 7-year itch or 5 to 7 year itch. I've heard a lot of people say this, but I don't know why.
5 years is still, the first 5 years is your honeymoon.
But not for everybody, because again, some people get within that first 5 years and the stuff's completely turned. But within that 5 to 7 year, they have that 7-year itch, and you go,
it's boring.
It's boring. What are we? We haven't done the things that we used to do. We haven't put in, and again, it's people because they're not putting in the time. Other things have taken their attention. Other people have taken their attention. And that it can be including kids. That can be including in-laws. That can be including coworkers. That can be including church. That can be including a bunch of things that have taken your mind because you've now set into routine.
Yeah,
you set into routine over the 5-7 years, and now that you've gotten that routine, your routine no longer includes the things that you used to do with your spouse to make you fall in love with your spouse. Last but not least, the middle age. You have that midlife crisis. Yes, the midlife crisis also has people out there looking at people wondering what's going on. I think we got another caller right quick. Caller, thank you for calling the Ty and Cody on Purpose Show. Caller, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This one that again. I had to call in this one because this kind of really hit home. One, I'll go backwards. I don't think it's a midlife crisis anymore. Midlife crisis to me has changed now. So there's a new thing now. Midlife crisis, you get the new car, do this. It's changed now because of the age level. Going backwards, I don't think that they're teaching enough how to still court. They don't teach you. You got the first year marriage, like you said, the honeymoon learning. 5 years, 7-year itch. They still it's a process, and they don't teach it. I know a lot of churches now are doing, I know a church back in Maryland, they're doing Marriage Made Easy, talking about the courting and the dating and the doing. If you're not around it and the church is not teaching it, then a lot of people also don't feel that they need to go to counseling. They don't need to go to date night. They don't need to do, that's one thing I think what happened within my marriage. We didn't do enough of counseling. I don't think people do enough of counseling. Not just 6 months, not a month. I think it should be longer. And I think some churches are now getting it that there's something missing because the divorce rate in a lot of churches are crazy. Cheating is off the chain. And I don't think, I've noticed and I've been watching it, so now that I know what I need to look for or what to expect, but they're going back to it. They're going back. You need to start dating. No, more than 6 months. You're going to go a year counseling.
Right. I'm
not marrying you unless you a year. Some churches are putting that on there. You can go somewhere else, but you're not going to get married in this church.
Right.
You're going to go 6 months or longer. And I think once churches, they start to see it, it's not an embarrassment. It's going to be embarrassment when they find that your numbers are high in infidelity, cheating, all of that, divorce rate. But I think when it comes down, it's also who you're around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all 4 of y'all doing date night. Yes, you have kids, but you make set times to date. So when it's time for me to get married, guess what, baby? We going date night. We may not hang out with them, but guess what? They're doing date night. Why can't we? They went to this retreat. You know what? We need to go on a retreat. Look what's been changing. It's all who you put yourself around.
It is.
And I don't think it's addressed enough. So, y'all teaching me, and I can't wait for that second time, but I know now more than what I did then because it wasn't there, but it's there now. So,
and your second time is coming, Lynette. I have faith that it is coming, and it will be the greatest thing that you have ever experienced in your life because you are 100% right. And that is part of what we do as, again, thank you, Lynette, for calling. That is what we do as a Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching is we as coaches are put ourselves in position to help and come alongside of you in your relationship, not to be enthroned in your relationship and thrust in your relationship, but it's us as mentors, us as people who can walk you through the good times and the bad times. So that way, you're right. It's not just a 2 or 3 month thing, premarital thing you do at church, or a 2 or 3 month premarital thing you do with a pastor, but something that you actually do within the first year or the first 5 years of your marriage. Sometimes you may need people to walk you through, your issues or exactly marriage maintenance that you need to be able to go through. Exactly as Cody just said, marriage maintenance is what I think you were really referring to, Lynette, that we do at A Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching. And so we definitely offer those services for anybody who's more than interested in marriage maintenance. And again, that's even what the APLMC Text Club is about, marriage maintenance. But it's about that time, y'all. So the moral of the story, in my opinion, is no matter what people say, if a partner is unfaithful, it is not the other spouse's fault, because people do blame the other spouse. No matter how terrible the spouse or the marriage may be, when a person cheats, he or she is making a conscious decision or a conscious choice to do it. To avoid becoming a victim of infidelity, you need to be alert at all times and don't take anything for granted, and do everything to save your relationship constantly. Don't play naive to the things that are said or that go on around you. You have to take responsibility to shut off and shut down things at the onset. While this person may be nice to know and have a great conversation, what benefit are they adding to you and to your spouse? Don't put yourself in tempting situations for you or anyone else for that matter. Know your limits. You know right from wrong. Pursuit of your spouse should not end when you say, I do. Be purposeful in doing what you need to do to make your marriage work at all costs. Because what you won't do, unfortunately, there is someone else out there who will do it for you, and that even includes when it comes to your spouse. But remember, someone who loves you would not put themselves in a position to lose you.
That's good.
Someone who loves you will not put themselves in a position to lose you. So check yourself first before you check anybody else and what you are doing. If you don't like for your spouse to do it, then you don't do it yourself. To cheat or not to cheat.
That's good.
I say not cheat.
Not cheat.
Emotionally,
Don't
physically,
do it. It's not
or anywhere. You have to check yourself sometimes. You got to be real, and you got to check yourself sometimes.
All day.
And go with it.
Don't do it.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate the comments. I got to go back and read some of them because Cody's been over here cracking up. I'm going to respond to them online. Cody's responding to them. I know Mr. Entertainment responds as well. Don't forget, you can continue to comment all throughout the week, all throughout on all social media aspects, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even LinkedIn. We want to see you all there on our APLMC Valentine's getaway. So don't forget, hit us up at aplmcoaching.com and hit us up for the APLMC Text Club. We will see you all next week at the same time, same place here on WBNDradio.com and Facebook Live. We love you. We appreciate you. When we say live purposefully
and love purposefully,
Ty and Cody on purpose. Peace.
The brothers in the man
Facebook family, Facebook family, Facebook family. Cody is over here. I want to know what's so funny. She's not sharing with me because we're on air, so she's gonna have to share with me once we get off air. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We love y'all to the fullest. We love your participation. You all had some great comments that I was out there liking and reading along the way.
Yes, thank you for the engagement. It's hot
thank
tonight.
You. Chase her. I saw that you posted this earlier, Tiffany. Chase her even when she's already yours. Yes, fellas, continue to chase after her. And ladies, same thing. I know ladies are not supposed to do the chasing, but continue to love that man, encourage that man, and uplift that man. And fellas, continue to chase her even when she's already yours. It does not end after you say I do. You have to do things to keep the love alive in your marriage and in your relationship. We love you all. We appreciate y'all. We will continue to read and comment on your messages. Good night. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Be safe.
Peace.